Hello and welcome to Become the Teapot. I'm Ian.
And so am I. See, there I was in my office. Another lousy night's sleep and a full day of recording ahead of me. I pour myself 3 fingers and settle in for the long haul, unawares that things were about to get real messy.
What are you doing?
Iain, my co-host, a tall drink of hairy water. We started this podcast together to get him to read more of the funny pages. Ones that those bigwigs up in Tinseltown had put up on the silver screen.
Who are you talking to?
But little did I know that he had a bomb to drop, and it was about to explode. Right in my face.
Right. Well, look, I know we're meant to be doing Sin City this week, but I've actually already read it, and so I thought that we...
And just like that, the format goes up in smoke. My head spins with the options. Kill Iain? No, that won't help. Maybe we could shake up the formula. But how?
Anyway, I've invited a guest on to add an extra perspective. Say hi, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
And just like that, we're out of the fire and boarding a one-way flight to Podcast City. Population 3. So buckle your seatbelts and get ready for another episode. A big, damn episode.
Let's just get on with it, shall we?
Ian, are you going to do Ian's egg hunt just before we go any further? Ian.
Probably not, because there's not any eggs in this film. The whole film is an egg. It's the book.
As one of your legion of fans, I am shocked, appalled, and outraged by the lack of egg hunts in this.
I have got a fun fact.
All right, we'll be the judge of that.
You know the name that Nancy uses to write to Hartigan?
Yeah.
Cordelia.
That is taken from a Japanese manga series called Detective Conan, and the character is Cordelia Gray.
Oh, okay.
That's the reference.
That's interesting. Because I thought the reference was, she said, I'll write to you under the name Cordelia. It's a really cool detective I read. And I thought it was a reference to Nancy Drew, because obviously the character's name is Nancy.
I never thought about that.
It would make sense with Frank Miller knowing about Detective Conan because that's run for about 900 years.
And he is a manga fanboy. I mean, you can basically everything he ever wrote, he decided to try and inflect some ninjas into it. You know, Wolverine, Daredevil, all of it. It's like, right, well, they have to have ninjas. So that wouldn't surprise me. But, okay, well, if you're not going to do eggs, let's go round up our thoughts then, shall we? Because that's what I was going to say. Luke, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the film or the comic book?
I prefer the comic book.
Okay.
I would say. Then that's probably more my preferences. I prefer a good book or a good comic to film in general.
Okay.
But I think, to be honest with this, either's just as good. You could lean either way. You could say this is better because a bit more story, but as you said, the conciseness of the actual film is really good. It's short, sharp, dumb fun.
Yeah.
Really, what more could you ask for?
And Ian, what about you?
Yeah, I would probably say the same, actually. I would say the book is a good sort of 4.5 out of 5. The film, maybe a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
So pretty damn close. I like that they've taken panels from the book and put them on screen.
Yeah.
You can literally pause the film and find that point inside the book.
See, I will go to say I prefer the film to the comic book.
Okay.
Because, as I said before, I think it reins in some of Frank Miller's worst tendencies. And it also tightens up each of those stories just enough to give them a bit more focus. Although some of the omissions, as I say, Marv's mum, I felt that was missing. I felt that could have been included. But generally speaking, I feel that each of those stories is a little bit better for just being a little bit tighter and a little less misogynistic, homophobic and disabled. Just to be a bit nicer. And I loved the fact that everyone, almost bar none in terms of the cast, was taking it seriously at all and was absolutely having a ball with it. Like you say, it is good fun, enjoyable stuff. But yeah, I think I prefer the film to the comic book. If you had asked me when I first read these, when 15, I probably would have said something else. But on revisiting these things, I just feel there's certain things that don't sit right with me nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, those things don't sit right with any well-adjusted human being, I think. So, I know it's fun, but I kind of hate it at the same time.